Hello. In this section, I am going to discuss a little more about the SNOMED CT and about the writing the HL7. I've already discussed the SNOMED CT a wee bit in previous videos, but just a little bit about how I have it written. I set up a class for SNOMED CT, and in the class I outside of the getters and setters and the constructors, I've only set up one or two additional methods. The CID, the SNOMED CT has only two variables in it: the CID, which is the code relating to the diagnosis, and the FSN, which is the description of that code. So the code, to get the CID, I have set up this method here, and all it does is it searches for a particular word in the SNOMED CT database relating to either disorder, situation, procedures, findings, regimes, or therapies, morphological abnormalities, or all of them. So that's the whole entire SNOMED CT. When your table is selected and the word you're searching for is selected, it then sends that query to a query in the queries class. Again, this queries class is just a list of methods with queries in it, and just the connection is the only variable. So here is the list of diseases. First, the parameters that are taken in by this method is an int, which is the type, which a lot of the time might be 1, or it could be all if it's if none is specified. If it's 0, it generally means that it's going to be the entire SNOMED CT table, and also takes in a string name. If it's treatments, it might be a regime therapy view that will be selected. So and then it just has a pretty straightforward SQL statement, selecting from whichever table where SNOMED FSN is like the word that was stated, and then it adds all the results to an array list using the SNOMED CT object. Then when you come back here, it prints out all of them, all the results, and asks if the disease is in the list. If yes, it will then set that up as the FSN and CID for this object. Otherwise, it will send you back to the start of this program. So that's kind of like a while loop there. And then if you're given a CID, this could be from the tables. It could be a CID code that you're getting from the long-term medical illness tables. And basically what you want to do is get the FSN for that, so as the user can actually read what it is and isn't seeing just code. Again, it's fairly basic. The reason why I have it coming in as a string there is because if it's a treatment, it may not necessarily be a code. If it's not a code, it's going to return the AFSN. Otherwise, it will set the SNOMED CT object of the diff.fsn and the diff.cid, and that's really the SNOMED CT file that I have. It's very important, the SNOMED, for using the HL7 for other computers to know exactly what the diagnosis is, and sets up a standard language. It makes the whole program between computers a lot more interoperable than the previous way of doing it with the XML files, where you had to set up DTDs and that. So to write this HL7 file, I set it up very similar to writing the SQL, not the SQL, write the XML, in that the user gets to choose between if he wants to send all his patient's information to a HL7 message, or if he wants to send just one or two patients. So to set up, or to make this HL7 method, we use a couple more methods that aren't actually, or classes that aren't actually just so visible. And we use the patient and nurse class all the time anyway. We use the queries class here again, querying some specific tables. Then we use the write to file. So I set up a simple write to file where you can create, you have to get a path to wherever. In this, we're creating a new file as well, so the path should already be there as long as the file was created. And then we change the append to file to equal true, so therefore we can write to the end of an existing file. And then I have an address. I didn't change the database to use my I didn't change my database. Instead, I decided to try and separate an address, and using the examples that are in my database, I decided on these few rules that should break down my addresses into the right format. It would have been nice at the very beginning to know if what format we would be using at the end, but this is the way I bypass that. And then I just separate the address using this method here. There's a few rules and it might look a bit more complicated, but it's straightforward enough. It just breaks it down on the length of the array in the address, or if there is no the array doesn't contain a comma, it breaks it down just using the one line in the address. So then if you come back here, you see that I set up an array list and I get the information for the nurse on his or her patients from a query, and send that to the array list, and then using and then the same for if they want just one patient to write a HL7 message about. So in that case, I have set up the message using a for loop. Here's the for loop. I started off using this format here because originally we were supposed to write a reader as well, but we changed that, or the spec was changed. So, but I kept the format. So I have the HL7 has its own date time format, which you can see in the interfaces as well. And I just use that to format things the way, very similar to the way I've done in previous examples. And then it has what do you want to call the file. If you want to just name the file will be stored here in the MySQL con folder, just in the first folder, which I have done a few times there. But if you don't want to, you can create any path you want as well, but leave the prefix at the end for what type of file it is, because I have them set up depending on if you want a text file or an XML file. So then I have the message segment, and the message segment is going to be the same for each person in the array list, each patient in the array list. The patient segment is going to be different. It's going to have different information, hopefully, on each different patient. So and it sets it up using this here. I have the address using the separate address object, or the address object, and the separate address method, and then I have some other demographics on the patient there that's in the PID section. Then I also get information on the diagnosis. I get that from the long-term medical illness details, DG1, and then I close it because I was having problems with information repeating. And then I have next of kin details as well, and again I use the address object to get the address information on the next of kin to the patient. And again I close it because I was having that problem. And then I also clear the ADT, and I think that's that helps as well. So then the final step really as well is to just parse the message so as it can be written to the text file or to the XML file. So if I run this file then, and then do an example where I'm writing all. So and this time we'll say no for that. And then if we try it again and just pick some say 3 different people, we'll have 92, 78 and 1, 2, 3, and so small and this time we'll write it to an XML. Opening those files then in the screen, you can see the text file there, quite clear to see in that way. For a computer though, it might be more important to have the XML file because it can validate it against the DTD. But that all seems to look well. Next time I will talk a bit more about the interoperability of the system.